Well, it's Tuesday the 10th of March and I'm about to put together another vlog which will cover some of what I did last week. I got the pressure washer out and I cleaned all of the patio. A lot of the pots that I had here on the patio I have moved down into the bottom of the garden because there's no sunlight coming here at the moment, and so I've moved them to the bottom of the garden for them to get a little bit more sunlight, and just with the few days that they've been down there it has made quite a bit of difference. This morning I actually put some treatment on the lawn because the lawn is just absolutely full of moss, and because the birds are busy at this moment in and out of the nest boxes, I also used the hose to try to dissolve it a bit so that they don't take any of the pellets up themselves, even though I know the forecast is for rain this evening. The birds are still busy. Blue tits at the box that are closest to me here are coming in and out quite a lot, and then the one further down the garden there do seem to be a pair of grey tits coming in and out of that one. So time will tell with both boxes whether the birds will eventually nest in there. The other thing which I'll show, which I took a photograph on last Friday, because on the 3rd of March, which I think was Tuesday, and it was on the last vlog, I planted some seed that I'd taken off the cosmos from last year, put them in the propagator, and just Tuesday, that was on the Friday morning, I went out into the garden and some of the seed had come through already, so that was extremely quick. I actually did the patio on, I think it was Thursday because it was such a beautiful day, but Friday morning when we got up, we'd had a rain overnight, but when we got up in the morning it was snowing, and we had some heavy snow for about an hour and a half, which then eventually turned to rain. As you can see, there's beautiful blue sky behind me today. It's windy, so it's a bit of a cool wind, but it's a pleasant day. So most of this video will be covering a lot of what has already taken place over the last few days, and then I will finish it off later this week with something else. Well, it's time for that job that always needs doing after the winter, beginning of spring. And that's to get the jet wash out to clean the patios down. Because there's no sunlight here at all during the winter, it starts to get quite mucky and green, so I'm going to move a lot of the stuff about, the plants, everything else, to clear it, and then hopefully to just get it cleaned up a bit now for the springtime. All I've used on this is the foam stuff you buy for washing a car, and it's better than what I've usually used. I've just put another layer of it on here to get this a little bit better. What I've decided to do is, instead of putting all my pots that are there back up on the patio, I'm going to take them down to the bottom of the garden, and then at least during the day, morning anyway, until sort of about 12 o'clock ish, they will get some sunshine on them to help them grow a little bit more. So I'll do that now while this foam on here is doing a little bit more on these patio stones here. So that's the pots down here now. A bit more sunlight and they might come a little bit stronger. That's a good job done. Looks much cleaner and tidier now. Just hope the decent weather lasts. Here you can see where the moss is. It is coming out quite easily, but if I pick some of that out, the birds can help themselves to it. I need this to come to die off, and then I will plant some more grass seed down. I brought 16 of these last week. I had a voucher given me for Dobbies for Christmas, so I was in there and I brought 8 of these. They're called osteospermum, and they really do need potting on, so that'll be a job for a day or two's time. And then I'll lift the propagator up, and this is showing where the cosmos has come through. It's not many, 1, 2, 3, 6 at the moment. And got to be careful they don't get too spindly, but it doesn't matter. I've got plenty more seeds to plant if these don't actually survive. I have got the camera set up here again just to see what does come onto the bird feeder. If there's anything of interest, I will add it into the video. my sign back up. I took it in for the winter so that it wouldn't get soaked with all the rain. And then here are the pots that I brought all the way down here. These are the apple trees I planted last year, and they're starting to bud. The new life is coming on the roses. You can see the buds coming on here, so hopefully they'll be coming out okay this year. Here you can see how the buds are coming out on the pear tree. Just about starting to show on the apple tree, on the cherry tree. It's Friday and it's the 13th of March, and I come out into the greenhouse a little bit earlier, and I just realised that I hadn't pressed record. So I'll just show you what I've done. I've just transferred these that I'd shown earlier in the video, the Osterspermum, 16 of them, into these bigger pots for them to grow on a little bit. And nothing else I'm going to do for this vlog, so that's to complete the vlog. I've just looked down under here and I've noticed that the second lot of broad beans that I planted have just started to come through. The second lot of sweet peas that I planted have just started to come through. But as of yet, there's no sign of any of the carrots or of the garden peas coming through yet. It still does get cold out here. This morning we had another very light layer of snow. It must have froze quite hard last night because the fountain on the patio there was frozen solid. Other than that, there's not much else to do now for this vlog. I've got some more plugs coming sometime today, so I've got to be near the house to hear them at the door, otherwise they won't leave them. And just the first thing this morning, I did move the feeders off the branches of the tree now that they're starting to bud, to discourage the birds from landing on the buds. And I've moved it back to where I used to have it and put them on the proper bird feeder pole. And I went into the house, and within 10 minutes I looked out to the window and I noticed that the feeders are absolutely covered with birds already. So I did manage to get a little bit of video, a little bit shaky from inside the kitchen window, but I then did set the camera out on our utility doorway and it zooms in far enough down to the bird feeders. What I'm pleased about is that yesterday there was a male greenfinch back in the garden. That's the first time this year. And then this morning I noticed, since I've moved them onto there, there's been both a male and a female greenfinch on the feeders. So I'm pleased because after the woodpecker, they are my favourite birds, seeing them coming in the garden. I love just the green of their colour and the yellow tinged in with it as well. So that's it for this vlog. The sun is shining now. It did when I first came out here. It started to rain, but that's passed, which is fortunate because the neighbours have got some washing on the line. And so thank you for watching my vlogs. Please like and subscribe, and as soon as I can I'll get another vlog up and running to upload again.